I'm fashion designer Ruby Bhandari, and this is Design Your Life. Each episode, we're stitching a happier, more satisfying life for you with insider tips from industry experts. The fashion and lifestyle industry isn't just fabric and thread. Together, we'll learn about setting real goals and growing your look, your soul, and your attitude to make your dreams a reality. Come with me to design your life. Hello, everyone. This is Ruby Bhandari, and I'm here with Design Your Life. So this week, we're very, very excited about our guest. But first, I want to tell you about the last 2 weeks since we've had Victor Abraham on our show, who was so inspirational, such a great speaker, and so educational about travel, about entertainment. Since then, it's been my birthday, and I have done nothing but eat cake, and more cake. And we had gone to Miami Fashion Week at the beginning of June, and what an amazing experience that we had. I had Charu Parashar, Indian designer from New Delhi, actually fly back to Miami just so that we could have a panel discussion and educate people about Indian fusion fashion. So that was amazing. And then, of course, she was able to show her new collection over there in Miami, and they went crazy. And then, of course, Charu was back here in Dallas after 5 weeks, and we had a beautiful lunch and a beautiful trunk show with her. And she's already back on the airplane and back to India. So here we are back to normal life in the summer in the heat of Dallas, Texas. And I am so proud to announce my next amazing guest, Joanna May from the Heart Association. She is the CMD, and what that means is Corporate Marketing Director. Did I get that right?
That's about right, yeah.
And isn't she beautiful, you guys?
Thank you. Thank you.
I actually think you're beautiful from inside and out. I love, love, love being with you. I love spending time with you. And I'm so excited that you're on the show.
Well, I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. And when you're talking about eating all that cake, we're here to talk about healthy lifestyles. So everything happens in balance, right?
I know. It's been so bad. I think I've gained like 5 pounds in the last week.
But that's okay. Sometimes there's time to eat cake, right? And I know you know how to rein it back in because I've seen you do it.
I swear. Back to diet time. And so we are going to talk about a healthy heart and why it's important because, you know, being a South Asian here in Dallas, and knowing so many people in the community, I have found that supporting the Heart Association is so important. And why? So, you know, we'll start with the notes that have been so graciously given to me so that I can cover all the notes of the Heart Association. Let's talk about the American Heart Association and what you guys stand for and what you're doing.
Yeah, so actually what's interesting is we recently went through a branding change and changed our mission statement for the first time in many, many, many years.
Really?
Yeah, so it's very exciting. So traditionally, I think people think of us as the research nonprofit, that
Correct.
Everything we do is research and science, which is a lot of what we do is research and science. But we're changing a lot of our focus to become an organization that's really looking at the whole health of our culture and our nation and our world. So our new mission statement is to be a relentless force for a world of longer, healthier lives. Don't you love the way that sounds?
You said it so well.
A relentless force.
You know what? I think it's so important in this day and age to be a relentless force because, you know, especially our millennials that are, you know, hitting their 30s, mid 30s, late 30s, it's time for them to start worrying. I don't think that when people are young, they really, really worry about their hearts. They're working out, but they're eating out, they're drinking a lot. They're not actually living the most healthy lifestyle, even though they are working out and they are so knowledgeable. So I know that you have something called Life Simple 7.
We do. And I love that you brought up the millennials and 30s. It's a time to start thinking about it. But really, we focus and focus from the beginning of life all the way to the end, because if you start with those great habits, then you're going to live a life that has those habits. So we do have this Life Simple 7, which is really kind of the 7 steps or the 7 things that really help build a healthier life.
So I think we have, we've got it on the screen.
Yep. So number 1, and I think we've all heard this, right? And we should have stopped smoking. Smoking is a huge factor to living a healthier lifestyle. So that's
I
a
totally
huge
agree.
piece.
Now tell me something. Do you know if by chance smoking, they have these different patches and whatever, do they work?
So the nicotine patches,
Yeah.
I would have guessed so. You see the commercials, but I can't say for sure. But I would say if you're taking any steps to stop tobacco use, whether it's a nicotine patch, but go see your doctor. I mean, we need to use our physicians and the medical resources that we have to really help us get through those things to get to the healthier place that we want to be.
Yeah, so all my friends in New Delhi, India, that are smoking all the time, I know you're going to watch this podcast eventually, and smoking is a detriment to your heart. So FYI. So what is number 2?
So eat better. Diet's a huge piece, right? And when we say eat better, you know what? It may be difficult, and you've done it, I've done it, to completely overhaul your entire diet in one step, right?
Correct.
But start just thinking about the little things that you can change. Eat more greenery. Cut out something. It doesn't necessarily have to be, I'm going to look at every single one of these 7 things and drastically change every single piece of my life. That could be really overwhelming. So, what we say is start little bit by bit. Eat healthy. You don't have to change your entire diet, but just pick something that you want to change as part of that diet. Eating smart starts with healthy food choices, and just make those little steps one bit at a time.
I think basically I used to, except for this week, I choose my calories. I choose, okay, if I'm going to have cake today, then I'm not going to have a drink today, or I'm not going to eat potatoes today. So I think that choosing what you're going to eat that day is also very important, and I do it very consciously.
I do the same thing. So, yeah, be conscious of if you really want to have that bowl of ice cream, maybe you shouldn't have this other thing over
Have
here.
salad for lunch.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, next step.
So the next step is get active. Get active, guys. Get out moving. It's summertime. I know it's hot out there, but that could mean something is get up in the morning and just take a short walk. It doesn't mean you need to go run a marathon or, or swim 50 laps in the pool. If you don't have an active lifestyle, start slow. If you sit at a desk all the time, get up and take 5 minutes and walk around your office.
I think that really makes a difference, actually. And people don't realize it because we're sitting on our desks and we're on our computers and we're typing away. We get up to go to the restroom maybe, come right back and we're typing again and again. But, it's that same repeat, and we don't actually get up for 5 minutes to take a break and walk around. So I think it makes a huge difference, and people just don't realize that. And that's just it takes no time.
No, it doesn't. And I think it's overwhelming if you tell yourself I need to go from 0 to 100 instantly. Just making those small little changes will start leading you down the path.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, next up.
So the next step is, and a lot of these things lead into this, is lose weight. Your BMI, your body's mass index, is huge to a healthier lifestyle and a healthier heart. And again, eating healthy, right, and being more active, those feed into those things. So that kind of, you're making those steps, it should be a natural transition into losing weight.
Absolutely. Very important for fashion too.
And manage blood pressure. So as we know, blood pressure is a big deal, and keep an eye on it. People they don't go to the doctor. They don't know their numbers. They don't know that if they are in trouble, they don't know that they are. So manage it. Go get your checkups. Go get your physicals. If you see a little blood pressure cuff at the pharmacy or the big box store,
you should definitely go and get your blood pressure
checked.
checked.
And just get it checked. It's free. And, that's the best way to know if you need to go and take further steps. And sometimes blood pressure really is, you can start these steps of diet, getting active, losing weight, but you definitely need to get your doctor involved to really help you get there. Blood pressure is a key. It's key. It's huge.
I think that so far what we've been talking about is quite obvious, but this one step of getting your blood pressure checked is something that people don't do. People walk around all over the city with high blood pressure and they have no idea. So this is one thing that I think people need to make an effort to do is, if nothing else, get your blood pressure checked. I mean, go to the pharmacy or when you go to the doctor, make a note and say, hey, I need to get my blood pressure checked. And if you're not going to the doctor, at least get your physical every year.
Absolutely. It's funny. We have a story, and we're going to talk a little bit about Go Red for Women, but we have a story where a CEO of a Fortune 500 company here in Dallas is a huge supporter of the American Heart Association, and her husband a few years ago were at Go Red for Women, and they check your numbers there, and he got his blood pressure checked. It was so dangerously high, they immediately took him to the hospital, and they said if he would have even stayed through the luncheon, he could have had a massive heart attack.
So this was from the event. He left the, wow.
Yep. And
he was walking around like nothing was wrong.
And he went and got his blood pressure checked at the event itself, and was he was in a very bad situation.
Wow. Well, you know what? I'm a big fan of the events, but let's talk about the last two. Part of our 7, and then we can move on to our events.
So control your cholesterol, and again, this goes into knowing your numbers, visiting your doctor, getting your annual checks. That's key, right? Just make that yearly visit, and then if you have an issue, go back.
I'm guilty of this. I have to start because you know what? I feel like because I'm not fat and I'm generally healthy. You don't really know what your family history is, your ancestors, whatever. You don't really know. I mean, it could be genetic. And so I don't remember the last time I got my cholesterol. Well, at the event, maybe.
Yeah, Go Red for Women.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So until I joined the Heart Association, I don't even know that I ever got my cholesterol checked.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, I learned a lot just by attending events.
Shame, Ruby.
Yeah. So, all right, you guys, if you don't get your cholesterol checked, then just come to the events. They'll check it for you for free.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And then finally, reduce your blood sugar. And that's still the same thing with knowing your numbers, but also controlling, being part of that healthy lifestyle that we talked about, eating healthier, getting out and being active, controlling your weight. All these kind of work together, right, for one whole healthy body. And so this is kind of the keys that we tell people. Again, start somewhere, but if you're working on all 7 of these, your chances are less that you're going to have an incident. But as you mentioned, there are so many faces of heart that, being thin or, having always feeling like you're healthy or being active doesn't mean that you're necessarily protected. We always say, go do your annual checks. It's so important.
And I think that's how come we see people who are active, they're healthy, they don't smoke, and all of a sudden they have a heart attack, and you're like, but he doesn't even eat sweets, or he doesn't do this, or he works out every day. It just doesn't matter, actually. You actually have to get checked. Yeah, but you have to get checked. You have to get checked.
Yes.
Very, very important.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you guys, I'm so guilty of it, and I never did it. And, a few episodes ago, I had Dr. Richa Mittal, who's a nutritionist and a doctor, on our show, and I learned so much from her, and we actually have a few of our viewers that actually started going to her, and it makes a huge difference. If you're not educated or you don't know what you're doing, get educated, go to someone, Google and go to your doctor. Just do whatever you need to do.
Yeah. Well, and what's even more shocking if you think about it, so South Asians living in the U.S. are more likely to die of a heart disease than the general population. So, if you're listening to this podcast, please take that in consideration and go get checked. There are more women that die of cardiac disease or cardiovascular disease, if I can speak, in the U.S. than all cancers combined.
What?
Yes.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Why is it that we don't hear so much about it? I mean, lately now that I've joined the Heart Association, we were at the meeting the other day, and I heard about the husband-wife. It was the wife that had, she went in, and it was so unexpected. But I have never heard of so many women. I mean, I just haven't, not even in the South Asian community. I guess you just don't hear about it. People don't talk about it. But if someone's husband or brother had a heart attack, it's just like a really big deal. And it's just because it seems like it's a man's disease, but it's not.
It is not. And I think you see with women that We cover a lot of bases in our lives and our families, right? We're multitasking. We work hard. We have the kids. We have the household, the grocery shopping. And when we start feeling things that may not feel right with our body, what do?
Ignore it.
We ignore it.
Yeah, because we just feel like, oh, it'll go away. And I don't have time. I have a friend that recently I told him to go to the doctor. And I said, I feel like maybe there's something wrong. Just go to the doctor. He's like, well, I have this to do and that to do and this to do and that to do. And I don't have time to go to the doctor. I was like, oh, you will go to the doctor. You have to go to the doctor. I mean, at the end of the day, if you didn't have time and then something happens, you're dead.
You're dead. And when, we talk about survivors, and a lot of times, and I think, knock on wood, most of the time, the survivors we say are the people that had an incident and are still with us. But we also say the survivors are the families that are left behind.
Yes.
And so can you imagine, a mother leaving, and then you have young kids and a husband, or just your family in general, whether you are a mom or not a mom. It's so important to really take care of yourself, because at the end of the day, you wish you would have made the time, and your family wishes you would have made the time.
Exactly. I totally understand. So now I want to talk about the amazing events, because I've been to several now. I think some of the best events I've ever seen in Dallas, and the most exciting, are the ones that are done by Collin County, even by Dallas. But the Collin County Heart Ball was quite a thrill, I'd have to say. Very exciting. It's fun actually to do charity and then enjoy what you're doing and enjoy attending all of the galas, and you just make us want to come. So let's talk about what happened in November.
Well, first, before we get too much into it, let me thank you, because November was awesome, and a lot of that has to do with you.
Well, thank you.
Ruby was and she's part of our executive leadership team, and an amazing volunteer, and had a lot to do with the way the room looked that evening. Everybody went on and how beautiful it was, and really a key thing to what you did was you helped us save a lot of money, so that donor dollars go towards the mission. And as we know, if you're in business, cutting back on what you spend allows you to have more to put towards really what we're there for. So I can't thank you enough for everything that you've done for us.
It is my pleasure. And yes, if any of you guys who know me or don't even know me, and you are interested in helping, thanks to Weddings by Farah for the beautiful decor that day and all that you did. And thank you for our graphic designer. Thank you for all the people who actually put this event together, and they donated their time, their services, the food, everything, the alcohol, everything. Everything was donated by so many people. And, the more money that we save having fun, enjoying, donating to the number one killer for the world, the number one disease which kills everyone in the world, the better off we are, right? We can enjoy giving.
Yeah, and enjoy our lives. And because when we say a longer, healthier life, huge part of that is quality of life.
Correct.
And so, as we said, it's okay you eat cake, enjoy things in balance, because you want to have a great quality of life. But it's all of our volunteers and donors that allow us to do what we do, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But yeah, the Collin County Heart Ball is amazing, and we're going into our 5th year in November. And I know you guys have some amazing footage where you'll get to see the beautiful things that Farah did in the room.
Yes. Can we see some footage? Oops. Oh, wow.
Tonight is the
So there's Farah. I can see Farah in the middle, and I can see
Heart Ball
myself.
here at the beautiful Frisco Omni Hotel. We've
And
got
that
11
stage
chefs
she did
here,
was
expecting
gorgeous.
about 500 people.
And the chefs, the restaurants that were there were ultra amazing.
Yeah, so it's a celebrity chef event. So we have 11 Collin County chefs. The food is just, I think, the best around it at an event.
Well, I know that Whiskey Cake and 60 Vines are really popular here in Dallas, and people loved the food. I know Roy's was one of the donors as well. They were fabulous. This little girl that we're showing, she had fallen down at school. Is that what happened to her?
So she was actually born with a congenital heart defect.
Okay, she was born with it, and she's up and running, which is fantastic. She was just adorable, and she was just so inspirational to everybody, because she's so young and she spoke so eloquently, and she's really gone through a lot at this age.
She has.
More than most people have in their life.
She has. And when we talk about the faces of heart disease and stroke, again, we're not talking about the older community. We're talking about
Yep,
the
all
children
ages,
and
all
women,
ages.
and it doesn't discriminate.
Nope. And I just love the way everybody was opening their heart, and not only were they auctioning on all of the items, like so excitedly to get those items, but they weren't like backing down. They were ready to give more. And that was just incredible. I mean, I saw people spending money that they probably wouldn't have spent, but because it was for such a good cause, it was just amazing. And, I want to just talk to you about Open Your Heart.
Yeah, so Open Your Heart, it's a mission-based donation. So it's really not necessarily about buying a ticket to an event or bidding on an auction item. It is a straight 100% tax-deductible mission donation. And for our events, when we do the fundraising, there are different pieces to that. Some people, it is tickets to events. Some people, they want to come home with that cool vacation or suite to a Cowboys game. Some people, they don't want to go necessarily out, but they really believe in the mission. And so giving those straight mission dollars is a great way to support the American Heart Association.
Yeah, I mean, I really think that I know a lot of the people whom I feel would really want to open their heart and donate is people who have actually been through it. They're the ones that are hit the hardest. And I know that they are just ready to write a check and say, hey, do some more research and educate people on, what more we can do to save ourselves. Because, in several occasions, we've seen that doctors themselves have suffered heart attacks. Some have passed away, some haven't. And you get so shocked. I was like, but they're doctors.
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, again, I don't think anybody is immune.
Yes.
And that's why it's so important for what we do. Nobody is immune from this. And a lot of the dollars we talked about do go towards clinical research programs that we help fund. In fact, one of the things we've been working on and giving money to is a program that's surrounding brain health and aging.
Brain health and aging. Okay.
Yeah. And so you guys have heard a lot in the news about brain health and, of course, brain injuries. So that's a huge thing that we're focusing on, as well as precision medicine. Taking the information that is gained in all these different research projects and putting them together and building a database so we can look way into the future to some of the key factors that with heart disease and stroke. So that's another thing that we're working on.
I know that you had mentioned to me that there was a $40 million project that just didn't happen because we didn't have enough money. I think that Open Your Heart may be very, very important for that. And, after you told me that in the afternoon, I was just thinking to myself in the car and that I just need to start talking to everyone that I know and asking them who wants to donate, because, these projects are so, so, so important to save lives every day.
Yep. And then outside of the research projects, some of the other things that we do in the community, a lot of your kiddos may be part of Jump Rope for Heart at the elementary school, and that's an American Heart Association program. In the state of Texas, before you graduate high school, you are required to learn bystander CPR on your.
Oh, very good.
Yep, that's an American Heart Association program that we went and lobbied the Texas government to pass, and we help fund those schools that are not able to pay for the tools needed to train the kids. So those are just a few of the things that we do here. Non-smoking, when you go into a restaurant and you're not surrounded by smoke, guess what? That was us.
Thank you, Heart Association.
That's right. That was us in your cities fighting for that.
Thank you. And now, so when do kids have to do the Jump Rope for Heart?
So usually Jump Rope for Heart is a program that's done in elementary school.
It's done in elementary, okay.
Yep. It's a fundraising event that's, jump rope this many times, raise this many dollars. A large amount of ISDs in this area do it. Not all, but a good amount. NFL Play 60, if y'all are familiar with that, 60 minutes of play.
Okay.
American Heart Association.
I'm embarrassed that both of my kids went through elementary school, and I'm sure that we participated, and I'm sure that, they collected money for this, and I said, here you go, because kids are doing all sorts of things, but I didn't take more interest at that time for why they were doing this. So I think that that's very important. And my kids are a little bit older now, but at least everyone is aware that when your kid comes home and is doing Jump Rope for Heart, why are they doing it? This is strictly for helping research and improving people's lives starting a very young age, and teaching children how important it is for CPR and all of these things, because kids really don't know. Kids are just in the life of games, I think. So they're not really realizing all of these important things unless they're being trained at school.
And obesity is an epidemic, and it's an epidemic in our youth. And so, teaching kids young, whether it is at home or in the schools, really starts that foundation to living longer, healthier, quality lives.
So let's talk about our Home Run with Heart event.
Oh, yes.
Home Run with Heart. I mean, I think that's the coolest name. It rhymes. It's really catchy. And it is, it's now June 27th. It's happening.
We are so excited. Thank you for bringing it up. On June 27th, we are teaming up with the Rough Riders at Dr. Pepper Stadium in Frisco, and we're having the first Home Run with Heart.
Can we have that back up on the screen, please? I want everyone to see this. It's Home Run with Heart. It's June 27th. Get on Facebook and get all the information. So what all are we doing there? What are the details on here? What does it say?
Yeah, so if you on Facebook, if you go to the American Heart Association Dallas page, it's an event there. From the event page, you can purchase tickets. Tickets start at $12.
Can you buy tickets on this Facebook page or no?
Yeah, if you click on the event the event link on the Facebook page, it'll take you to where you can buy tickets.
Okay.
And again, they start at $12. What a great summer family event.
Oh, there we go. She's got it on the screen. Frisco Rough Riders tickets, find tickets. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to click on the find tickets, and they're $12.
They start at $12,
Great.
yeah. And what's cool about this event is we will have a team out there training hands-only CPR. So you come out with your friends, your families, your colleagues, and you can learn how to do bystander CPR while you're at the game.
Okay, so they get to watch the game. They can enjoy the afternoon. And evening. This is evening. It's a Thursday evening.
7 o'clock first pitch.
Fabulous. And who's playing?
The Rough Riders and the Midland. The Midland something. Sorry, Midland.
We still love you.
But we're asking you guys to come out, learn something. It's a life-saving skill. 90% of people that have out-of-hospital cardiac arrest don't live. 90%.
90% don't live.
90%.
Wow. Okay, so let's, we're going to teach them CPR. They're going to watch the game. They're going to have hot dogs. They're going to love the evening. How does it all work, and what do they go home with?
Well, and it's dollar beer night.
Oh, it's dollar beer night.
Dollar beer night.
Of course the Heart Association is going to do dollar beer night.
We didn't do dollar beer night. The Rough Riders are doing it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, so those of you who are hearing about this for the first time, please go onto their page on Facebook, buy tickets, and come out on Thursday night, enjoy the game, learn how to do CPR, and get your dollar beers. So I want to see all you guys out there, okay? I'm Indian. I don't even watch baseball, but I'm coming. Yep. So I think it's just going to be a great experience, and it's really fun. And these days, the evenings are also quite pleasant.
They are. And back to the little fashion piece, we're asking everyone to wear their red to the baseball game.
All right.
So when you buy tickets, there is an option to make a $10 donation, and you will get a red shirt when you arrive, but we'll also have them at the game for a donation.
Perfect.
Or you can pull out your favorite fashionable red t-shirt to come out to Home Run with Heart on the 27th.
Awesome. Okay, so now that we mentioned fashion, my favorite part is the Go Red Fashion Show that happens every year in New York, and now I think we're planning in Dallas.
Yeah, so the Go Red Fashion Show kicks off Fashion Week in New York City. I have to say I've not been lucky enough to attend.
You and I might go this year.
That would be very cool.
Yes, I think we can.
But then you would have to help me figure out what to wear, because you are kind of my fashion guru
I got
for
you.
these
Silk
galas.
Threads. Silk Threads has got you.
I think it's 2 gala gowns you've helped me with now.
That's right.
So Go Red for Women. We have a luncheon here in Dallas every February. And not only is it a luncheon that is a fundraiser for our mission, but as we mentioned, it starts in the morning about 10 a.m. And we actually have people out there to test your numbers, get your cholesterol, your blood sugar, your blood pressure. And I mean, you want to talk a little bit about you've done it, right?
I did. So I learned how to do, I mean, you just walk in, it's so easy. They just prick you a little and they ask you to wait for 10 minutes and boom, there's your results. And they give you a booklet so that you could understand exactly from what point to what point is acceptable, what's high, what's low. So I really liked that. I took it home and I could understand that my sugar was high that day because I ate chocolate. So that was pretty fabulous.
So I wouldn't go get your sugar test today, Ruby, with the cake.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. All right. So I think it's time for us to wrap up. Is there any additional, anything that you want to tell everyone?
No, we always need help and support, whether it's donor dollars, your company supporting your individual as an individual, time. If you have time to come out and want to volunteer, please reach out to Ruby. She can connect you with me. We have great events. We have our gala in Collin County that we talked about, Home Run for Heart coming up this month, Go Red for Women. So there's so many great ways to be involved and support us, and we just love you.
Absolutely. Thank you. And you know what? If you're interested in doing like an auction donation, Silk Threads, we always give some sort of a package. And whatever business you're in, I mean, for fashion, I always have to promote fashion, right? So fashion always comes together with the heart. You got to look good. You got to feel good inside and out. So I'm there for the outside. Joanna's there for the inside. And they have amazing galas. If you're ever interested, please do email info@silkthreads.com. You can always look at the American Heart Association website. What is it?
AmericanHeartAssociation.org.
Oh, okay, .org. It's .org, you guys. So thank you so much for attending and being with us this Thursday afternoon, this warm Thursday afternoon. We'll see you again in 2 weeks to design your life. Thanks for watching Design Your Life. If this episode sparked an idea or a question, I'd love to hear it. Send me a message to my Facebook page, Silk Threads by Ruby Bhandari, or you can email me at info@silkthreads.com. You may be featured on an upcoming episode.